If you're looking for anime to eat away at your life, then you've come to the right place. Today, the Enthusiastic 10 will give you the top 10 anime of 2017. Now, to qualify, a series has to meet two simple rules. It has to have been watched completely, and it has to have debuted in 2017. Now, with that said, let's start this party. Kicking off this list is a show that asks you the tough questions. What do you do at the end of the world? Are you busy? Will you save us? Suka, or World End, tells the tale of Willem Kmesh, who has survived humanity's extinction to the beasts. In this new fantasy world, he's in charge of the care of the only known way to fight the beasts, young fairies and their holy swords. With beautiful imagery, Suka creates an engaging fantasy world with its opening scenes, paired together with an interesting rendition of Scarborough Fair. With a well-crafted story to go with sympathetic characters, there is very little, if anything, that cannot be liked about Suka. Its only downfalls come from its awkward character development and the fact that it doesn't leave an impression after you've watched it. At number 9, we have a twisted high school romance called Kuzuna Honkai, or Scum's Wish. Mugi and Hanabi are dating. The problem is that they love someone else. If you read far enough into that single sentence, you'll learn everything you need to know about this show. Scum's Wish is home to some of the most warped characters you will ever lay eyes on, and they'll be the first to admit it. But these characters are the heart and soul of the show. It is simply maddening to watch the decisions that both Mugi and Hanabi make. Decisions that go against what most people on this planet would call common sense. This contrarian nature is what fuels Scum's Wish, and depending on your tolerance for it, can easily be its downfall. And the Attribute Cafe Stile comes in at number 8. Blend S is a slice of life show that follows the workers of Stile. That's it. Honestly, there isn't anything truly special about it. You are just enjoying the cute girls and the contrast between their work personalities and their actual personalities. Blend S should just be generic fodder, but the combination of bright, energetic art and exceptionally well-defined characters make this worth watching for a change of pace in the action-flooded market. That and the opening is just memorific. Now, number 7 is the sequel to Blue Exorcist. Watch this, you must first discard the second half filler of the original series altogether. The sequel doesn't even bother to acknowledge its existence, as all filler should be treated. Now, following Rin and company to Kyoto brings a lot more of what made Blue Exorcist so popular. Satan-driven character development and story wrapped in pretty intense action sequences. It is a typical shonen title that is new enough and was given enough time off between seasons that it just hasn't grown stale and boring yet. The comedy fest that is Konosuba continues at number 6. One of the few transported to another world shows that doesn't feel overused. The slapstick comes hard and fast, and let me tell you, if you don't like stupid humor, this show is god-awful. Kazuma's no-nonsense attitude for ridiculousness and utter intolerance for Aqua's antics is the stuff of legends. For some, the art's shift to bizarre caricatures during the stupidest of these gags can either make or break your enjoyment of Konosuba. But if you're in the right mindset for this kind of stupidity, this show is perfect for you. Now, the top half of this list could honestly go in any order, depending on your preferences, and starting us off is the fantasy world Come to Our World Recreators. Recreators is the quintessential imagining of the clash of fantasy and reality. Having characters from fantasy worlds come to our own with all of their powers intact makes for interesting conflicts between these summoned beings and this world's residents. With great characters and an easy flowing story, it's deeply engrossing and action-packed. And with it being rounded out by a simply amazing soundtrack, Recreators is near perfection. At number 4 is Yojo Senki, the saga of Tanya the Evil. Following the titular Tanya in an alternate telling of World War I, where magic has been weaponized, Yojo Senki will tickle your evil bone. The slightly rounded out and a little lazy-ish art style lends itself very, very well to the dark world it creates and the politics it harbors. And all of the characters are so fleshed out that you will actually be rooting for the most evil of them all. The dark story and world are complemented by outstanding theme songs sung by Aoi Yuki and Mythen Royd. All of these parts combine wonderfully to make Yojo Senki a masterpiece. The top 3 kicks off with Inuyashiki, the last hero. There isn't enough praise in the world for Inuyashiki, and it was a very difficult choice to put it here at number 3. When the title character is killed by aliens and then reconstructed as a machine life form with outlandish technology, we begin his journey to discover what makes someone human. No excuses, the 3D CGI looks bad, and I've never been a fan of this style of animation. But the story is infinitely deep and engrossing. What does it mean to be human? What is a hero? These questions constantly hover in the atmosphere and add deepness to this story and its characters. These characters are absolutely not just window dressing for the philosophical elements. It will leave you speechless after nearly every episode. Our runner-up today is one of my personal guilty pleasures, Cerezure Children. Romance is hard to do well. Comedy doesn't usually age well. Romantic comedy blended together is an art form if done right, and Cerezure is a true work of art. You get to follow several groups of kids as they discover their feelings and learn how to make relationships work. There wasn't another show this year that I looked forward to more each week than this. The pastel colors of the art accentuate the themes of the show beautifully, and the bread and butter of any romance. The characters are engaging, funny, and detailed. They feel human. At approximately 10 minutes an episode, there's no way you can't make time to watch this show, and you'll always be left wanting for more. Before we get to the best of this year, here's an honorable mention that just missed the top 10. Was there ever a doubt of who would be number 1? Attack on Titan Season 2 took everything the first season did and cranked it up to 11. With the focus taken away from Eren, both the story and the characters are given exponential growth. This was essential for the War of Humanity to not turn into the same old tropes of other battle for human survival shows. Impressive musical scores ramp the already tangible tension and make your breathing pick up and your pulse quicken, creating some of the most epic fight scenes you will ever see in anime. With a thickening plot twisting and turning the story inside out, there really is no better example of how to do a second season, and it was well worth the 4-year wait. And the best and worst part is that it picks up again in 2018. And what are your thoughts? Did I miss anything that you loved this year? Let us know down in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more great videos.